Hello, fellow Biafrans, and once again, welcome to our evening broadcast, which we bring to you, let me say, 4 times weekly. We are always here to make sure that we are here 4 times, sometimes 5 times weekly to enlighten our people on some of the issues that tend to confuse their faculties. I am Ikenna Obibi Egondo. With me right now is Jude Chijoke, who is in Lagos and from there joining us. And equally from Ghana, we have Uche Digi. Uche, could you please say hello to fellow Biafrans who are already with us right now online at various places? But where the service is too poor, we can still continue without such necessary let people that way introductions. Judah, are you connected? You can still say hello to fellow Biafrans while we are waiting for Uche, Digi, and the rest to hook up.
Good evening, fellow Biafrans. This is Jude Chijoke, joining from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much and welcome to the program. Now, our own fellow Biafrans who are here and there, different parts of the world. Let me take a call, please. Hello, Kingsley Ejiofor. Hello, welcome to the program.
Good day.
Hello. Oh, we have lost him. So, over the days, a lot of problems, have been taking, place in Biafra land. Some of these problems, let me call them confusions, are man-made. Let me say they are man-made. Why do I say some of these problems are man-made? Because these are avoidable problems. Since yesterday, or let me say for the past 2 days, there is a kind of vile propaganda, a kind of destructive propaganda being carried out by a section of the Biafra society, those who should be in the know and who are, let me say, in the front line of this particular agitation. It is true that for the past 1 month, plus or minus, the military has been carrying out Operation Python Dance in Biafra land. Of course, there is no Igbo person, there is no Biafran that endorses that. Everybody has been frowning at that because such Python dance did not receive the general blessing of the entire people. And so we stand to condemn that entirely. But however, while that is going on, the Anambra State Governor invited the military to come and carry out immunization exercise in his own state. From the information we are getting, this was after they had finished such exercise in Ebonyi State. Two of us, we have not been able to fully investigate. But then, in the same Anambra, everybody knows, some people have been saying that come November 18th, when Anambra State is supposed to conduct another gubernatorial election, that this election would not hold. So people are saying, let me make it abundantly clear, the IPOB-RBL group is saying that this Anambra election shall not hold. And they have been moving from place to place, campaigning, carrying out any form of propaganda to make sure that this election did not hold. But while they are doing this, we are getting some security information that the IPOB-RBL group has already signed an undertaking with APGA under Obiano. The reason is for them to create an impression of fear on that particular day and scare people away. Once people are scared stiff, Then IPOB group will now use vehicles, mobilize their boys, enter Anambra State, and vote for Obiano, and then he will win the election. If this is true or not, we are still investigating. But so far, security information tends to prove it right. But then, Obiano himself miscalculated, because for these people to be campaigning openly that there will be no election in Anambra State, whatever their motive could be, it wouldn't have been a time, let me say by coincidence, for the governor to invite the military to come and carry out immunization exercise without even the consent of the parents of these pupils. So when this thing happened, the IPOB group had to capitalize on this opportunity they've been looking for, and frightened the entire Anambra people, so to say, Igbo land. Throughout yesterday and beyond, people were running helter-skelter. Parents were moving from place to place, looking for their children and worse, shouting and crying, because there was a false, I say a false information, that these primary school pupils were being forced to be immunized against their wishes. This was why everybody felt, frightened and threatened, and they had to run to their various schools to pull out their wives and the children. Now, the additional part of this particular viral propaganda is that they made it, well known to everybody through WhatsApp audio messages that many people so far immunized are already dead. And those who are not yet dead are already having this what they call monkeypox. They went as far as bringing out pictures of such persons so far infected. But the unfortunate part of it all was that those people that were affected, none of them is from Biafra land. Let me say, within the main 5 eastern states of Biafra land. Such cases were noticeable in the isolated areas of Bayelsa and somewhere in Akwa Ibom State. But they had to bring the pictures into the fore, informing the international community and the Biafrans at large that these were the effects of the enforced immunization exercise. The thing threw confusion in the entire Biafra land. It took the intervention of the Voice of Biafra International, that was able to reach out to very many people in Biafra land to diffuse the tension, to counter the propaganda, informing them that such propaganda was designed by the RPL IPOB group to create impression of fear ahead of Anambra November 18th election. Today, we are telling people that anything about monkeypox or instant death was just a mere propaganda. But what we agree generally, what we, the Biafrans, generally agree to is that we do not want that particular immunization. Even if we want it, you have to discuss with us, inform the parents, and we make up our minds. And it cannot be enforced or being taken unawares. Or possibly to inform us the essence, the importance of this particular immunization exercise, and then we will go as far as making sure that we subject all the medicines to laboratory tests to be sure that there is nothing more to read than meet the ordinary eye. We remember in the past where such things happened somewhere in North Africa and somewhere in Europe, even somewhere in America, where something like that happened, and the entire generation of people were injected with deadly virus. We wouldn't want a situation where anybody would enter Biafra land and inject similar virus, in our children and worse. And in the coming years, maybe 2, 3, 4 years thereafter, everybody shall start dropping one after the other. We find it unacceptable. And that was why we generally raised alarm that we do not want such a thing to happen in Biafra land, that they should go home with their own medics, whatever it is called. We do not want that. Good enough, the health ministry in Igbo State, Ebonyi State, Enugu State, and let me say equally Umahia, that's Niger State, they have all come out to denounce that particular exercise, telling the whole world that it did not receive the blessings of the Ministry of Health. Now one begins to wonder, if such exercise was designed, purely designed for something good, why wasn't the Ministry of Health informed? For the military to do it behind the closed doors is to give it a suspicious, thought. And we say no to that. You don't have to come and inject our people or immunize them without anybody telling you to come. After all, there was and there is no epidemic, we are experiencing in Biafra land right now. No epidemics. So then, why should somebody somewhere in the dark organize such an exercise only to come and inflict our people, possibly with virus? This is where, for the first time, all the warring groups have come to agree that we do not want that. Even if it is something that should happen, let us all agree, test the drugs, agree when and how, and who are going to supervise them to avoid anybody, going contrary to medical ethics. These are the things we have been talking about, and we stand by our words. Good enough, before the end of yesterday, we are told Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano had to withdraw the soldiers forthwith and ask them to pack their bag and baggage and go back to the barracks. This is what we want. If the exercise is to be held sometime in the future, we need to be informed, and we must use Voice of Biafra International to enlighten our people. Nobody should take us unawares, because we are not unaware of the sinister motives being perpetrated by some of our enemies to exterminate the entire Biafran population. We say no to that, and we must not give in to that. I'm not trying to preach hate anyway. No, we are trying to say something that is certain. Before you inject anybody, you must get the consent of the parents. This is what we are saying, and I believe everybody is listening and must understand what we are talking about right now. The only thing we have to inform our people today, as of yesterday and 2 days ago, nobody was forced. We stand to, testify. Nobody was forced, only that nobody was informed before the exercise started. And in truth, equally, nobody was infected with monkey virus, except those that have already injected will develop such a thing in the near future. And so to say, there was no death recorded. We stand in authority of what we are saying. There was no death recorded. But what we are saying, in effect, is that such exercise must be halted forthwith. We do not want it, at least for now. We don't accept it. We find it unacceptable, intolerable, and sometimes imperceptible. They have to go and go for good. They have to move down to the barracks, stay there. If they want to organize such an exercise, they should go to areas in the north where calamity, where virus reigns supreme. For us, Biafrans, we are a blessed people, and we don't have such disaster, in our own area. But as we might have some occasional disturbances, but it's not all encompassing. Let me take a caller now online. Hello, caller online. Hello. Welcome to the program. Your name and where you are calling from. Hello. Yeah, please. Hello. Yeah, good evening. Tell us your name and where you are calling from. Yeah, Ndewo. Yes. Ndewo. Udemena. Ihe anyị na-ekwu okwu ya biko maka ihe okwu asa na-agba n'ala Igbo. Anyị na-asụ ha na ya, okay, he has dropped already. He just called in to express his own solidarity with Voice of Biafra International as well as the bim-massob family that has made it very, very possible for this Voice of Biafra International to be broadcasting live and informing our people on the latest development within the Biafran region. That is why we are here. So, like we were saying before, no death was recorded, is a fact. But for us not to record any death, we have asked the military that we do not want that particular exercise to continue. And let it be a lesson and equally a warning to every governor in the Biafran state. You must not allow such exercise to happen in your own state, unless you would want us to get you to picket you. Hello, caller, once again. You are welcome to the program. Yeah, good evening. Your name and where you are calling from? Yes. Tell us your mind. Yes, we are listening. Please speak louder, please. We cannot get you. Speak louder. Voice of Biafra Germany, exactly. Yeah, your voice is very, very faint. Make you speak loud a bit. Yes, yes, but your voice is very, very faint. That's the problem. Yes. Okay, you can call back because your voice is very, very faint and we cannot hear you very, very clearly. Thank you very much for calling. So, we are saying that we Biafrans collectively do not want this exercise to continue, at least for now, until we are ready. And before we get involved in it, all our medical doctors in the military shall be involved. All Biafran military personnel who are medical doctors will be involved in it. We don't want to take chances. So that is the situation of things. And we are equally using this particular opportunity to tell all our parents to allow their children and wells to go back to schools from tomorrow. They should allow their children and wells to go back to school from tomorrow. The tension has been diffused. The military has gone back to their barracks. There is order now because we have discovered the intent on that particular propaganda. We have named it in the board. And we are advising Anambra people. You have to be on guard. This is a test run. Ahead of this particular election, you will hear knockouts exploding. And when these knockouts are exploding, they will begin to tell you these are gunshots from the military. Don't come out and vote. Ignore them. When you hear sounds of knockouts, do not be frightened. Get prepared for this election. And we have warned anybody that does not like freedom should come out that very day and disrupt this election. Let me repeat. Anybody who does not like freedom should come out that very day and disrupt the election. Number two, whoever does not enjoy his freedom right now should plan further disruption of this election ahead of the very date. We don't want a situation where some misguided elements would come and plan evil against a particular society for selfish purposes. We are tired of that. I don't know, Uche DG, right away in Ghana, rather, are you online with us? What do you have to contribute in this regard? Uche DG.
My elbow brother, I thank you and greet my fellow Biafrans all over the world and our great leader who made it possible for us to air our view through this media. As we continue to broadcast through Voice of Biafra International, I want to make it clear to our people that this immunization or whatsoever they may call it, I believe that my own family will not need it from any military personnel. We have a medical professionals, we have a medical doctors, we have government qualified doctors. Military doctors was meant for war. They can relocate to Syria where their attendance was needed.
They can go to Sambisa Forest.
We have, or they can even relocate to Sambisa Forest where their attendance are needed. It's not in a very lovely city that do not need their attendance. Their fathers and their mothers do not authorize them to inject anybody. We are not meant to be lazy. We are very hardworking people. We are very hardworking and family people. We don't need after the Biafran Civil War, they do not inject us, and they will not gonna inject us during this medium. For us of Biafra International, we continue to educate our people on what we think that is better for all for the future growth of Biafra. Because we don't need any medication at the moment from them to let the people know. If we need any medical treatment, we can seek that from our government officials, from our government doctors and personal doctors. Anywhere, many of us have even family doctors. So I don't think I myself and my family don't need and condemn any military exercises. Operation Dance and the key, in other states have taught us a lesson. If they said it is Operation Dance and Smile, but what I can see in other states is Operation Dance and Kill. So we don't need such exercises in Anambra State. This is what I want to do, what I want to thank you, my brother.
And not just in Anambra State, we don't want it in any state of Biafra land. Any state of Biafra land must stand and say no to this immunization. We have not forgotten what happened in Libya some years back, when some foreign experts had to inject a generation of children with HIV virus. We still remember the calamity which Libya suffered because of that. We wouldn't want such a situation to be repeated in Biafra land. We value our lives, we value ourselves. Despite the misunderstandings we do have at times, we are still part and parcel of the Biafran society. And we always understand that when one person is crying, the next door neighbor understands. We don't want anybody to cry. We don't want anybody to come and inject us. Like Uche Didi has rightly pointed out, we have medical doctors in most of our families. I don't need it. My family doesn't need it. And no Biafran family needs it. What we are telling every Biafran family is never ever to accept any form of immunization from the military. We are not experiencing any form of sickness or illness in our society. No epidemic whatsoever. So what informed that exercise? Without earlier notification. And to think of it, why were they combat ready? This is the question. Why were they combat ready? We vehemently say no to this, and we must continue to say no to it. The only thing we found out is nobody should capitalize on that to carry out a vile propaganda by saying that many people have already died and so on and so forth. We understand they took Anambra as a test ground because of the oncoming election November 18th. Jude Chijoke, are you there? What do you have to say about this? What is going on in Biafra land in the past 2 days?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ikenna. My view concerning the whole thing has to do with, it is quite sensitive anyway, because I'm happy that the true clear picture is now coming out. I'm happy that Biafrans are now reacting with points that they don't want their children to be immunized, that the Ministry of Health or Health Ministry either were not properly informed. So it is a thing of joy that Biafrans are now speaking with a voice, telling the military that we don't want to be immunized, because the timing is wrong. That is for me. the timing is wrong, and we don't know what their intentions are. As you can see, there is an epidemic which we ourselves does not know where it came from. So I think for we to have, rally around and then come to that decision, we don't want our children to be immunized is a good idea. Now, the other side of it is that the people who are using such opportunity to inform Biafrans, saying that a lot of people have died and they are being forced to be injected, that they've been infected with monkey pox. These are wrong informations as well. Like you no of anything. So
You can't adjust your position.
I thank God for
try to adjust your position a bit, please. You adjust your position, please, for us to get you clearer. Change your position because at times the services fluctuate. Please. Go on, please. Okay. Go on.
Okay. I thank God for Voice of Biafra International Germany for helping to clear the air. I think the message is simple, the message is clear, that Biafrans are suspicious of whatever they are being given.
The motive, exactly. We are suspicious of that.
No matter. This present yes. So, yes, and the other side of it is that it should be suspended right away, until further notice. And then on the other area, that our people should be prepared to participate on the election despite all negative information flying on the air concerning a particular people trying to do a particular thing. So I think the message is very clear. We should prepare to come out and vote during the election. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jude, for that wonderful contribution. And there was something very, very important you said, and that is this, that the timing was very, very wrong. The timing was very, very wrong. Governor Biano should have understood that a particular group has always wanted to create confusion in the polity. And giving the military the permission to come and immunize children in his own state was a wrong calculation. He shouldn't have given them that particular opportunity, or probably because they are working in tandem with his own society, with his own party. He must have been aware of it, but maybe because of the general outcry by the Biafran society, he was forced to put a halt to it. So this is what we are saying. We don't want that. Generally, we don't want that. Much as we condemn his attendant propaganda, saying that people have died or they're monkeypox, we still commend the person that raised that particular alarm. That very gentleman that circulated audio messages, we commend him for making sure that messages went around Biafra land within 1 hour. If not so, it will be a different story. And to our people who are on ground to verify the authenticity of everything and who fed us back immediately, we commend them. This is why we have media here and there. Once such a thing happens, do everything possible wherever you are and circulate it. We get it and then finally inform those in the hinterland who don't necessarily have access to the city or advantages. Thank you very much, Jude. Uchenna Okeke, you are joining us right now from Benue State. You are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Now, we are discussing what is very, very obvious to you. This enforced, let me say, immunization in Biafra land, using Anambra as experiment. We are saying we don't want it, no matter the intentions. They should have informed us and we enlighten our people. But to take us unawares, it's unacceptable. What do you have to say about this, Uche Nukeke?
Yeah, the truth is that there is a slogan in politics. They say the government by the people and the government for the people and the government of the people. So the people of Eastern region, the Biafrans, they have spoken, and since they have spoken, I think what is left for the government of Nigeria to do is to listen, because the people have spoken. Let's say it, they don't want it. We don't want it, and so thank God I want to appreciate our governors who has given instruction that they should suspend anything immunization and Medicare in Anambra. And I want to believe that such step has been taken.
Yeah, not only in Anambra, but every state in Biafra land. We want it suspended in every state in Biafra land, no matter the intentions.
Yes. Generally in Biafra land, let's say we say we don't want it, and there too have spoken that I don't have any bad motive towards that, but because of the timing, just like what you say, because of the timing, there is an outbreak, an epidemic outbreak in Central Africa. There are people, we human beings, we like our lives, and so, and the epidemic is too ugly. It's not a good one to human life, and coupled with the military has a bad record in the southeastern region. They have a bad record, and so coming with this medical equipment, so we are human beings. Anything can be attached to it, and that is why we say we don't want it in our land, and so let them take it to Sabisa. Take it to the Washoko breeding states. They should go take it to the north and cure people there, or whatever it is. We don't have an epidemic of whatsoever in Eastern region. And so let them take it to wherever they can dispense that. So I want to thank our people for that step taken at the right direction. Thank you, Ikena.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. We must commend once again the person that connected that particular audio messages on WhatsApp. He did a wonderful job. He is indeed a true Biafra. No matter the group he belongs to, he tried. It's the type of information we so much desire. Probably why he said people were dying and having monkeypox was to make sure that our people rise to the occasion, and that succeeded. Now it is done. We are asking them not to capitalize on that to disrupt Anambra election. And that brings us to Anambra election. A month ago, they are still saying no election in Anambra. But then, what I have come to understand is that 90% of those who are saying no election in Anambra live in Europe and America and Asia. If they are in Asia, Europe, or America, and begin to campaign no election in Anambra State on November 18th, are they going to fly back home to disrupt it? No. 1,000 times no. The onus is on the people at home. And I am telling you, Anambra people must take a decision on that particular November 18th. We are making it abundantly clear to Anambra people. Anambra people should listen to the voice of Biafra International, the authentic voice of the people, the people's voice. If you, Anambra people, make any mistake and forgo this election, it is darkness in the state for the next 4 years. Take it or leave it. If you make the mistake of not voting in this election and you boycott this election, you are introducing darkness in Anambra State for the next 4 years. The consequences are manifold. One, the federal government would appoint a retired military administrator from the north to take over charge in Anambra State. And being an ex-military man, he is not subjected to the constitution. Never. He is ruling Anambra State under martial laws. Whatever he does, no court questions him. That is obvious. He takes a decision and feeds back to the person that appointed him. And no two ways about it. Let us take a corner online. So, once that decision comes from the person that appointed him, he is supposed to feed back the person and no two ways about it. Hello, corner online.
Hello.
Hello. You are welcome to Voice of Biafra International Live Broadcast. Now we are discussing first the first immunization in Biafra land and two Anambra elections. What do you have to tell Biafrans? Your name first and where you are calling from.
My name is Pastor Wicked Beautiful. From a
Thank you very much. Welcome.
What I'm to say concerning the Anambra election, we are wanted to do. They have to do their election.
Yes.
In Nigeria.
Exactly.
But for the election that happened on Wednesday, this was today. So we had about they hit everywhere in the Eastern region.
Yes.
This is the hour of be careful.
Exactly. We have to be very, very careful. That is why we are telling our people back home, if you suspect any move, let us know. You have all our numbers. Give us a call and at once we inform our people. We don't want to lose any of our beloved ones. This is what we are saying.
Now, in the Eastern region now,
yes, we understand. They are doing everything possible to provoke us into civil conflict. But they have failed. We are not going to fight.
It is not using that because we know what they are doing.
Exactly. They are not going to force us into conflict. Already, the members of the Bim and Massob family have made it abundantly clear. This family, the other Chief Dr. Rafu Wazirike, has made it abundantly clear that no amount of provocation will draw us to battle line with the Nigerian military. We are peaceful in nature, but we are going to use the due process to, to advance and secure Biafra in this our lifetime. Yeah. This is our prayer. So, Anambra election must hold. Already on the 13th of September, Ijele Ndigo and the leader of the Biafran authority made it clear that Anambra election must surely hold. And let me make it abundantly clear, it is already a fait accompli. Nobody will stop it. And we are cautioning our people, our parents. You must hold your child or your children. If any of your child or children comes out that particular or come out that very day to cause confusion, tantamount, the person doesn't want his or her own freedom. Hold your children. Yes. Don't allow them to be misguided. Don't allow anybody to give them a propaganda that will shock them. When they hear sounds of knockout, because we have gotten the information that these IPOD boys that want to disrupt the election, they are buying knockouts to distribute to their members everywhere in Anambra State. The very time this election will be taking place, their members will be throwing knockout, and at once the pressure will be that the military boys are now shooting their bullets once again, and everybody will run helter-skelter and disrupting the election. When you hear such sounds, know that it's the sound of knockout and not of bullets. Come out and vote. Yeah. This is what we are telling our people. If we allow the federal government to impose on Anambra State an ex-military administrator to take over the state, everything about Biafra in Anambra State will be quenched. Anambra will be ruled under martial laws. The person ruling will not be subject to the devices or the whims of the people. He does whatever he likes with impunity, and he will get away free with it because you did not put him there. And for the next 4 years and beyond, Anambra State is not going to recover from it. Let everybody be warned. Let everybody be advised. Parents, of course, fathers, mothers, hold their children, talk to them. This is their future. If you are from Anambra State and you want to create confusion in Anambra State, remember what happened to Samson in the Bible. He was under a roof and he pulled down the roof. What happened? The roof collapsed over his head and he died in the process. That moment he died. What happens next? If you allow corruption to overtake Anambra State, foreigners will come and take over their own state. What are you going to do? But I'm sure Anambra people are very, very wise. They are not fools. It is a state that has the best cream of the Biafra society, intellectuals, academics and academicians, top business tycoons. Anambra has everything, and nobody from outside will come and dictate to the sensibility of the Anambra people. We trust them. They know what they're doing. Already, campaign is on. Osita Chidoke is carrying out his own campaign. Ifeanyi Chukwu Okonkwo is carrying out his own campaign. Similarly, Obiano is carrying out his own campaign. While these campaigns are on, let us see who will come and be an obstruction. We are always available to make sure that there will be a free flow of traffic on that particular day. No shops. Let me repeat, no shops shall open unless they are given go ahead order maybe later in the evening. But while the election is in progress, let nobody attempt opening his or her shop. For you to do that, you will be mortgaging your own freedom. This is what we are telling our people. We cannot continue to allow people to come and mess the entire Biafran society up because of selfish reasons. We don't want to subject ourselves to somebody's inordinate ambition, and we set our consciences for that. No. You cannot go behind the scene and then sacrifice. Agree with the Nigerian government to come and get corruption in the Biafra land. Using our Biafra passion as a tool, we find it unacceptable. Yes, my friend, talking. You want to tell us something more?
I know on 13th September, I was here where it did the one of Igbo land. It's clear that Anambra must do their election. So, not going back for that statement.
Exactly.
So, we're giving full backing.
Exactly.
So God bless you for all you said.
Thank you very much. There is no going back on Anambra election.
We have a leader.
Thank you very much. We have indeed a leader in the person of Chief Dr. Rafu Wazike. We have a leader in him, and we are always with him. We are going to make a statement on this Anambra election, and we are going to conduct it freely, fairly, and the result must come out. That's what we are saying. Yes. The only is on Anambra people. Thank you very much for being with us. You are welcome. Yeah. Now, Uche Diji, you are still there with us? Okay, thank you very much. Our last caller, we really appreciate your
contributions. My brother, I'm still here with you.
Okay, please. I want you to take over the discussion on this Anambra election now. When you are through, then we go to Chidoke to make his own contribution and then to Uche Okeke. Oh, sorry, please, let me see. Remember, are you there with us?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I didn't skip you, please. Now, you have been listening to what we are discussing on this purported immunization and then Anambra election. What do you have to say?
My brother, I think there are so many versions of that operation because I said there are so many versions to it because one, I got an information that said it wasn't even immunization, but it was a medical operation that the military carried out. And one of the information I got was that they informed the Ekusigo local government authority before coming to Ozobo. And not only Ekusigo local government authority, but also informed the OB of Ozobo, that's the traditional law of Ozobo, who then mandated all the churches to make the announcement in all the various churches in Ozobo. And the military that people saw in Ozobo did not go to any school, rather they went to church. That was the information I got from Professor Chidera Bodike yesterday when the moment I got that information and asked him to.
Okay, please remember, since you can hold on, please hold on. You are on Facebook. Let us take this caller online. Please hold on. I'll come back to you. Okay. Hello, caller online. This is Voice of Biafra International Live Broadcast.
Okay, yes. Please,
Go on, please. We're listening to you.
Okay, what is the Voice of Biafra?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's really on right now. It's really on right now. Assuming you called earlier, we would have given you the link and you can listen to it on Facebook or Facebook Live or YouTube. Now, if you go to Facebook, you will get. Hold on, please. If you go to Facebook now, you log on bim-massob, VOBIM, then massob. If you log on to Facebook bim-massob, you see it now live streaming on Facebook. But if you go to YouTube, you will get vobi bim-massob. It is live there now, streaming live there. Then alternatively, we are also on satellite right now on voiceofbiafra.caster.fm. 3 zones we are broadcasting live. Yeah, but what we'll do is, if you cannot get it, tomorrow around 10, 11 a.m., you can give me a call. I will now give you all the sites you can use and listen to our Sunday program.
Okay.
Yes. So,
okay. Well, I have I have go to but put your email and channel. I always have to room and video playlist and the channel. I tried to play channel, but the thing didn't come.
Yeah, okay. You know what we do? No problem. Even if you miss this ongoing broadcast, you will not miss that of Sunday. Tomorrow, 10, 11, give me a call and remind me. Let me give you how you are going to get all of them, either on satellite, on YouTube, or Facebook Live, anytime we are on.
Okay, should I come in tomorrow?
Yes, between 10 and 11 a.m., please.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you. Now, Maslinis, over to you once again.
So, thank you, my brother. Like I was saying, our correspondent on ground at Ozobo yesterday made us to understand that the military didn't go to it. Rather, it was the church that anything they wanted to carry out was a medical program, that they had the dentists and those that take care of eye sickness parts of the body. They were the doctors were all around. That was the information we got. So I thank God that immediately that alarm was raised by the person that raised the alarm, despite the fact that they blew it out of proportion, which made everybody to become scared. Despite all that, the government immediately, according to the Commissioner for Information, that alarm was raised. Information raised the moment that alarm was raised, called the military authority to confirm if they were aware of what was happening. They said that it was part of the operation that they had there were in the southeast. Then the governor had to add that medical activity immediately. This it was not properly informed. Since the masses were not properly informed of finding it. That was what the Commissioner for Information and Anambra State made us to understand immediately. It wasn't up to 1 hour before that information started reading. So all these things, many people, some people will tell you, some died that because we are that I know that one of us was Western rep in Lagos. One of my friends that was with Western rep. He told me something that gladdened my heart. That when all the calls we are coming in, that the Western rep asked one of them, "Did you people, carry the people that died so that you can take them to for autopsy?" And that you will be surprised that nobody even saw any cops, nobody saw anybody got there, nobody saw anybody shoot anybody, but the news was flying everywhere. So what I'm just telling our people is to know how to manage information in a time like this, because so that people that have their people will not go dead when things like this comes up. The military, they go to this, they went to church to carry out their activity. Then that is what I have to say concerning the medical operation trying to carry out. But I thank God because of those they have been asked to stop.
Yeah, that is very, very true. Exactly. Yes, you are really in order. Even when that information was being circulated, at the same time, in a particular WhatsApp group, we were in touch with a professor, Bodike, who was trying to feed us back. And exactly what you said was what I read there and what I later got from Professor Chinedu Abodike. The truth indeed was it was somewhere in the church, not in the school, but they blew it out of proportion. But however, we still commend them because it was a warning signal to our people. But where they went out of bound is saying people died. Maybe the person that said that was to create more impression to make sure that exercise fed and fed woefully. Because if you say somebody died, you should be able to give us a very clear picture of the person that died. We cannot go for autopsy. And this is what is going to prove it. But when they fail to provide us with such evidence, then everything about death occurrences was just mere sham, and we find it unacceptable. So we don't have to use such propaganda, because when you say that, look at how parents were running helter-skelter yesterday. What if by sheer mistake they had accident? Then that is what your propaganda, your alarm would have, caused. You don't have to arrest such alarm because parents value their children so much, so much. They value their children. Whenever they hear something is endangering the lives of the children, they can even sacrifice their own life to make sure that their children live. So, in their course running from place to place, jumping walls and fences, I could see pictures of mothers jumping fences, trying to grab their children to safety. What if any of these parents had sustained injury? What if any of them had died? That would have been as a result of the false propaganda you circulated to your people. We know we can get circulate information, but you have to manage it very, very well to avoid the spillover effects. This is what we are saying. This is exactly what we are saying. So when we get such information, we have to share the ideas immediately. I really thank all the members of the vobi crew who were up to date yesterday and 2 days ago, trying to get information. Even Sonny Baba was on spot in Anambra State, telling us indeed that nobody died and nobody died. We stand to say it in authority. So, to our brothers on the other side of the divide, try and manage your information very, very well. Don't say because you want to stop Anambra election, then you have to devise any form of anything at all to make sure that you carry out your wins and caprices to advantageous positions. We don't want that at all. And this is why we are warning our people. It's just a test run. They are preparing for more problems to impose on our people to make them run away from Anambra election come November 18th. They are buying knockouts now and distributing to all their members in Anambra State. When you hear the sounds of knockout on the eve of the election and the very day, do not be frightened. It is not gunshots. It is knockout sounds. Know it now. Know it now. I got this information from a reliable source that the IPOB family is buying knockouts, distributing to their members in Anambra State. On the eve of the election, they will be hitting these knockouts every part of Anambra State, creating panic, telling them that the military, the Nigerian army has come again. They are shooting people everywhere. And when they announce this, no parent would like his own child to come out that particular day to vote. Not even the parents will come out to vote for fear of being gunned down. When you hear such sounds by people, it is not gunshot, it is knockout sounds. Be it unto you. Now, okay, you heard what I have just said now. The IPOB family buying knockouts to distribute to their members to on the eve of the election start hitting everywhere. And the ones that is happening, they will now begin to secret WhatsApp information that immediately is shooting a lot of people. They will even record the sound of the knockout to tell us that these are gunshots. Which okay, what do you have to say?
Yeah, the truth is that IPOB as a group, they can go to any length to see that they do what they know how to do best, which is wrong information on that 18th of November 2017. The truth is that they can do that. They can do it because 99% of their information and all they have been saying has been wrong and false. So anybody has given this information concerning them buying knockout or possibly harming themselves because they may even go beyond buying knockout. Possibly they may go beyond that and trying to disrupt the election. All I know is that let them do whatever they want to do. We have made a statement to the world, and that stands. That election must hold in Anambra State, and Anambra must decide on who to be their leader, who to be their governor on 18th of September. So I think that information is in order, and we are going to counter, we are going to stop and make sure that they will never succeed in their plan. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, Jude Chijoke, you have that particular information that the IPOB family is buying knockout, distributing to their members in Anambra State, even trying to use vehicle to bring other people on the eve, so that when this knockout will be sounding, they will not tell people, oh, military or army not killing people more and more. Nobody should come out. What advice do you have for Anambra people, Jude Chijoke?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ikenna. My advice to the Anambra people, which I am also one of them, is that they should ignore those wrong informations. They should know one thing. The Anambra people should know that those people who are saying those things concerning that there will not be election, most of them are not from Anambra. That is the first point. Most others, and now they are trying to use Anambra to set problem, anarchy. A similar thing that happened in somewhere Aba. So Anambra people should be smart. They should be wise, because the other way around is never good, and it will not favor the people of the state. Like you've earlier stated, that there will be sole administrator, which it will be a martial law. I think we know what we have gone through during the times of Ngige and then Badinuju when they were governors. We know how the educational sector of Anambra suffered. Strike, and then strike. No school, no. Then you see graduates, people who were supposed to be in school doing petty business and others. You will see robbery, all kinds of insecurity, anarchy, misunderstanding in all the part of the state. This is what Anambra recovered from and became the best state in Nigeria as a total. And today, some people are going about telling people the wrong information, telling them that there will not be election. I think these people, Anambra is the people that I'm talking to, because they should be wise. They should not give these people a refuge, even a place to come and spot where they can be able to maybe launch any kind of form of attack. Anambra people should report anybody that they know that is not from the state, that his behavior or characters is even suspicious, because they will end up causing problem to your own state and then return back to their state. You see, we have earlier got information concerning these same people, that they are being used, and once they are being used, malpractices during the election. So now they can import people from the other part of the state with trailer load of people. They come to a particular camp, they can even vote, and at the end of everything, you sat at home believing that there was no election, while some other people came from other states to come and vote for you. So at the end of everything, you are now being governed by the person who have the highest vote. And unluckily it might just be the wrong person. And now you have shortchanged yourself, you have finished yourself for another years to come. So, but if we can be able to use our own one voice and now identify our own person who we want to put in as a governor, I think that is where that matters most. We gather together and put our own person, and now we rally around and vote the person just the same way we have rallied around and then raised a very big notice that we don't want immunization. The same way we are going to use our own strength to tell this is who we want to vote into power instead of
Yeah, we must apologize to our listeners. There are times the services break, and when the services break, you have to understand us. It's always due to communication problems in Nigeria. Please bear with us.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on, please.
Yeah. So my point is simply clear. Anambra people should rather try to come together and now find a particular candidate who have the Biafran ideology, and now we rally ourselves around and vote the person in as a governor than boycotting the election. Boycotting the election will never ever do us good. I think that should be the clear message. Those who are going about informing the public, saying all those kinds of things, those people does not have the interest of Anambra people and in Biafra in general at heart. I think that should be the main message.
Yeah,
Anambra people should ignore them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Of course, we are very, very certain that this particular group that is campaigning for election boycott has already failed and failed woefully before. And having failed before, they would like to drag us along this their particular hazardous rail for us to fall where they fell. So, we are not going to fall with them at all, not even failing. We are already ahead of them. So, since they have failed, they want us to fail in this another election to make it 1-1. It's impossible. There should be no draw game. The winner must emerge, and the bim-massob family must emerge victorious in this particular game. Whether they like it or not, Anambra election has been completed. It has already been conducted, and we are just waiting for INEC to announce the winner. Voice of Biafra International is not here to influence the election at all. We don't have a particular candidate. We are only in support of the election, not for any party or candidate. That is it. So let Anambra people come out en masse and vote. Nobody will disturb nobody will disturb you. Nobody will be an obstruction. Nobody will come and constitute hindrance that particular day, except and only except the person doesn't want to enjoy his or her freedom anymore. This is why we are advising all the parents, all our parents, to please hold their children. Advise them. Don't allow any of your children to be misled or misguided. Because if it happens, the consequences will be quite enormous. We have said it again and again. We don't want to see any of our loved ones suffer. We want freedom and happiness for everyone. But any person that decides to mortgage his or her own freedom, we are going to encourage that particular person. And there will be no regret. Not if tomorrow comes, some misguided elements will begin to say, oh, bim-massob has conspired against the people. No. Bim-massob is now telling our people, obey the laws of the land, come out that very day and cast your votes. If you know you are not of age, stay indoors. Let nobody open their shops that particular day, unless probably as from 4 or 5 o'clock as the case may be. But to open your shop early in the morning, afternoon, you must be incurring the wrath of the security agencies that will be let loose that particular day. Don't come and tell us that Operation Python has been extended to Anambra State. If you give them the invitation, they will come. Therefore, to avoid that, stay indoors, or if you don't want to, if you are of age, come out and vote. This is what we are telling our people. Let nobody come and disrupt the peace that is there in Anambra State. Because if we allow them to get away free, during 2019, they will be raising their flags once again, telling us no election in Biafra land. But we are not going to accept that. So, 4-1 is for armed. Let our people understand that there must be election in Anambra State. For you to come out to disrupt it, God bless you. And if anybody should hire any particular vehicle in your own very state, outside Anambra State, asking you to come over to Anambra and get confusion after giving you 500 naira or 1,000 naira maximum. You enter a bus coming to Anambra State to create confusion. Whatever happens to you on the road, take it as suicide. If you try that, whatever happens to you on the road, take it as suicide and nobody shall account for you. 4-1 is for armed. This is what Voice of Biafra International is telling our people right now. So, while we wait, a little bit of music. Sorry, we have to interrupt a bit, and the music will stay continue in the next few seconds, and it will go. And again, we have to advise our people at our nature. There is an attempt by the same IPOB family to put on fake massob uniform and create confusion at our nature, thereby inviting the army to start shooting. After many people would have fallen down dead, they will now turn to blame it on the bim-massob family. We are putting our people on notice that at the present time, under the leadership of Chief Dr. Rafu Wazeke, the bim-massob family has not authorized anybody to put on the bim-massob uniform, except on days we have activities. Outside the days we have activities, anybody that is found wearing the bim-massob family must be apprehended and dealt with. Let me repeat. We are having on information that the IPOB group is sewing the bim-massob uniform to put on and create confusion at our nature, and thereby inviting the military to start shooting our people again. After many people would have been gone down, they will now go on air to blame it on the leadership of the bim-massob family under Chief Dr. Rafu Wazeke. We have uncovered this particular plan, and we are putting our people on notice that except days, I repeat, and with emphasis, except days we have our activities, bim-massob family does not brandish our uniform. If then anybody is caught with our uniform outside the days we have activities, that particular individual must be apprehended forthwith and be dealt with decisively. This is the information we are getting, and we are ahead of them. Uche Gigi, are you online with us? What do you have to say? That a particular group is trying to fake bim-massob uniform to create problem at Onitsha and turn around to blame it on us. What do you have to say?
As we advise our people because we love our beloved nation, Biafra. We are working to make sure that first from at least 5 days gap to the election, Massob and BIM will not put on their uniform until the election time is over, until Nigeria election is over, except those who are on duty on our library and the other rest of the places that are posted. None of Massob uniform will be advised. I would like Chief Dr. Rapo was really to take notes to advise his friends, advise our people not to put on our security uniform and announce it on air, started from so and so to so and so after the election, because with our intelligence, I can understand that they are stealing the uniform in order to use it to disrupt the election, upcoming election. For that reason, we have to keep that they are able to use our security uniform to cause mayhem, so that make sure that the Biafran we speak for through non-violence with our wisdom, because wisdom is even mighty than weapon. Because it is only by your wisdom you use to create even bombs. So we are going to use our own wisdom to create a way to our independence without any single gunshot. This is our advice and where we are heading to. Thank you, my dear brother.
Thank you very, very much. Ume Maslinus, are you there with us still? What do you have to say on this information that the IPOB group is showing the bim-massob uniform to create confusion at Onitsha and turn around to blame it on the bim-massob family?
Ndị Anambra be anyị ga-asụ nke a n'olu Igbo.
Anyị na-anụ.
Maka na anyị maka nna agwụgwe ya. Anyị agaghị ekwe na onye ọbụla jiri anyị zụọ ahịa ekpere na nke ha zụgoro azụ. Ha anaraghị ego na Abuja anara ego ebe dị iche iche ka ha wee mebie ihe tinye anyị n'ọnọdụ ọgbaghara. Mana anyị nwa ka ọ dị arịsị na mmadụ ibe anyị agaghị eji anyị wee zụọ ahịa anara ego site na aba n'aka ochie. Atụmatụ ọbụla bụ atụmatụ ha ji iji wee hụ na-eme ha elekshọn na Anambra steeti enweghị uru ọ ga-abara anyị nwa bụ ndị Anambra. Ọ masị ha ga-akpa yunifọm ndị bim-massob sekuriti yunifọm si na ka ha jiri etinye kọmputa. Ụmụnne m ndị Anambra ofu ihe ọma ga-akpa ọma bụ na mgbe enweghị ihe ọbụla ndị Massob kwuru ha na-eme, ndị sekuriti anyị anaghị eyi yunifọm akpakọrọ. Naanị mgbe unu nwere ike ịhụ ndị sekuriti anyị ha ga-eyi yunifọm wee kpagharịa bụ ihe dịka ọ bụrụ na ha na-aga national meeting. Ọ bụrụ na ha anaghị aga national meeting, enweghị ndị n'ime ha ọbụla ga-eyi yunifọm anyị aka n'ụzọ. Mgbe ọbụla unu ji wee hụ onye ahụ n'ụzọ when the people is not the one who have able to arrest. Bim-massob trouble. I say, one na get ka ha ga-azụ wee mara ya ka confusion wee mara na ndị na-arịrị ihe enweghị onye n'ime ha bụ onye Anambra. Ha si ụlọ nọ na-ahapụ Biafra ka ha ji wee dee ihe enweghị onye n'ime ha na-arụ ọgụ maka ndị onwe Biafra. Ndị agha niile enwekwuru ekwesị pụtara ka ekwesị confusion. Onye ndu ha mgbe a na-ekwu okwu na mbụ a na-asị ha ji nwayọọ na ọ bụghị taa ka esi mee. Akọrọ na-asị dị iche iche ka unu wee na-eso ha. Mgbe e mechara ihe niile ahụ anyị na-ekwu ya mebere, mgbe ha na-eke bidoro gbaba egwu n'ụmụahịa na Aba, ọba ha kpọbara mkpu ndị ọbụla mewere ha ebere olu akụkọ ọzọ anyị kwuru akụkọ ya tupu ike ọzọ a ga-apụtakwa ịdị agwa Anambra. Ọkụ ya ka anyị wee na-ekwu ịga ka anyị si ekwu ya mgbe ekeke aga akabeghị n'Abia steeti. Anyị nara ekwu ya mgbe ahụ ma anyị chọghị ịnụ oruzie ka eke bataziri ha chọwazi a na-eke. Ụmụnne ndị Anambra ka anyị ghara iji aka kpọbata eke na Anambra. O nweghị uru eke bara anyị. Eke nọrọ n'ọhịa anyị nwabi n'ụlọ anyị nwechara ụlọ n'ofu n'ofu. Ihe ọbụla mmadụ ọbụla chọrọ ime iwe ji aka gị dọbata eke na Anambra si onye ahụ n'iso hụ na ya ga-apụta ego alaba. Ihe anyị na-ekwu bụ na a ga-enwe elekshọn na Anambra steeti. Ọ bụrụ na enweghị elekshọn na Anambra steeti, ihe na-eme n'Abia steeti, ihe mere n'Abia steeti n'ọnwa gara aga bụ obere ihe niile ga-eme na Anambra. Ihe abụgodo ofu ihe m chọrọ ka o doo anyị anya. Dịka anyị esighị wee nwee aṅụrị ihe mere n'Abia steeti, biko nọ ka anyị gbara mbọ gbochie ọ ghara ime na Anambra. Kedu otu anyị ga-esi egbochi ya? Ịhụnanya pụtara ya tụọ vootu. Ịmara onye ị chọrọ ịtụnyere onwe onye na-asị gị na onye a ga-atụnyere. Ha agagharịba dọkịta na-eme kampen. Ihe ha ntị ọnwa ajụjụ nwere ike ha jụọ ha ajụjụ n'ihe mara onye ị ga-atụnyere. Oge ụbọchị ha pụta tụnyere onye ahụ. Ịtụnyere onye ị chọrọ ịtụnyere ebe a na-akpọ akpọ rezọtụ mara ma onye tụnyere ọ bụghị ya win. Ọ bụrụ ya win ebe transition onye ahụ achịba. Ndị niile na-asụ na-agapụta na atụmatụ onye niile ha bụ ihe iwu na-ekwu maka anụgo nke ọtụtụ ndị ha na-ekwu na ebe ha tụma vootu na Speaker of the House of Assembly ga-agachi nke ọ ga-esokwu wetụrụ vootu ka ọ agaghị eso wetụrụ vootu. Onwekwa ha mgbe iwu taa ọ bụrụ na atụrụ vootu ihe a ga-eme declare state of emergency na Anambra declare state of emergency dịka onye ndu anyị na Igbo okwu onye a ga-ezite bụ onye bụrụ spika and ọ bịa aka ike ka anyị ga-ekwu inweghị ọnụ okwu enweghị onye na-ajụ gị iwu nyere ihe ọbụla ọ na-eme biko nọ ka anya saa anyị ole akọra m n'ọnụ onye biri ibe ya biri daalụkwa.
Thank you very, very much. I think we have done enough justice to this Anambra election. In the coming days, we'll still dwell on that to emphasize more for the interest of our people. Now, we have to go to a new topic and the last anyway, because we are running short of time. In the last few days, Voice of Biafra International advertised that we are going to interview a prominent figure from the north, Major Hamza Al-Mustafa, Chief Security Officer to late General Sani Abacha. We want to get his views on what is going on in Nigeria at the present time and as it affects Biafra. Now, no sooner had we advertised this than the IPOB family went haywire, crying, shouting, why must we interview our enemy? Voice of Biafra International, the bim-massob family, the Biafra people don't have any enemy. If we have opponent is not an enemy. And as a voice, as a media, we can break the bound to go anywhere and interview anybody. It is a media right, and nobody can tell us any rubbish in this regard. Unfortunately, Why the same people were condemning us outrightly? One of their staunch members, the second in command, if I may say, and the immediate younger brother to their CEC, was somewhere in Lagos, dining and whining with a segment of the Arewa and Oduduwa people. And at a point, they had to cry him, maybe one chief or so, they put on him, or he said, this is herdsman cap. Of course, he was preaching one Nigeria, one restructured Nigeria. We are not against him because he was towing the line of peace, just like the bim-massob family has been towing the line of peace. Exactly as this young man, Mr. One young man, went to Lagos to discuss with some people from Arewa and the Oduduwa group on how to form an understanding why pushing Biafra. That was exactly what Chief Dr. Wazike did at Kaduna, where the same people hypocritically raised alarm, calling him a saboteur. We keep on saying, what goes around comes around, or comes around. When we do something, they condemn it. One day it will come to their turn. We are the best setters. We do it because we have the wisdom, we have the foresight. And when they come and condemn us, before you know it, they are there repeating the same thing. So, if peace overtures carried out by Chief Wazike in Kaduna was a crime, tantamount, what Kano's younger brother did in Lagos equally was a crime. But no, was a crime, we must say. It's a good move. It's part of the policy for philosophy of non-violence. But now, could you imagine that even when some members of the Voice of Biafra International, even the bim-massob family, encouraged that young man to toe the line of peace as he was doing, some IPOB members were even condemning us for supporting their man. I have never seen such set of human beings before. There are times I begin to wonder if these robots were molded in China. I don't understand anything. Not that I'm calling them robots, but the way they behave at times make us to suspect that majority of them are robots. You do something, we condemn you, you want to kill us. And when we support you, you still want to kill us. Uche Okeke, are you there? Hello, Uche Okeke. I don't know if Uche, is Uche there, please?
Yes.
Yes. I don't know if Uche is online. Yeah, Uche is online. Uche, you heard what I've been saying, did you?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Now, please take over the studio. I'll step out briefly. Take over the studio and moderate this particular topic right now. I'll be back.
All right. Okay. All right. This is the Voice of Biafra International, broadcasting live from Germany, and we have been using the media to inform our people rightly on what is obtainable all over the world. In as much as we are talking about the secession of Biafra from Nigeria, we have to toe the line of peace, and we have to do it according to the universal law of peace. And this has been the stand of bim-massob right from 1999 till date. And we are telling the whole world that we want to go out of Nigeria. Today, the topic we have been discussing right now is on the issue of Emmanuel Kanu, the younger brother to the leader of IPOB of Mazop, of Nnamdi Kanu, and today who was in the west of Nigeria to receive and to make to toe the line of peace. And today, this has been what has been castigating Chief Dr. Rafu Wazirike of a saboteur in respect of the struggle, the actualization of Biafra. And today, we have seen it. Just like as they accuse Mazop of killing their members, throwing them in a Zuriba, collecting money from Nigerian government and Anambra government. the same thing happened in Obakala, in other states, when the IPOB were pushed to the water and drank water from there, and some of them were killed and thrown into the river. And so, we are not saying that these things are good for the movement, but we are telling our people, most especially IPOB, they should guide and know what they are saying. Stop castigating the freedom fighters, most especially the founder of the new Biafra, Chief Dr. Ralph Owazurike. I don't know if Jude, are you there?
Yes, Uchenna,
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay, Jude, please, what do you have to say in regard to Emmanuel Kanu, the younger brother to Nnamdi Kanu, who went to Lagos and told the land peace? Is it doing the right thing?
Yeah, and thank you very much, Uchenna Okeke. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to address their fans once again. From my view, the way he told is correct, but he could have done that earlier on. It could have been done earlier on, and then a lot of lives could have been saved. If such a road was followed from the beginning, rather than preaching hate messages to people, telling people the negative things concerning other tribes, just to create a kind of popularity, make money, and down, finally turning back to come and hug, the same Arewa people, the same Oduwa people you have been, you and your brother have been condemning and, lambasting and all that kind of stuff. It's just like a mockery anyway, but it is also the right step, because if your own people who are a die-hard IPOB members watch these videos, listen to your own, listen to his statements, I think they will begin to realize that they are, they must have missed it somewhere. They will realize that they have gotten it wrong somewhere, and I think most of them will start coming back to their right senses. I think that is the main message in across that particular place. Now, on the issue of his brother is just, let's say, he is trying to rather maybe finally fall to the same, should I say, what they could have done earlier on. But eventually they've ended up misleading people, causing a lot of souls to die, to perish. Look at our youth, look at our younger ones, who we see as tomorrow leaders, carrying placards, facing the military, stoning the military, which we all know that it is never the right thing to do. So it is quite unfortunate that such a thing happened. And at the same time, I would like others who have not watched the video or seen the write-up or something to try and watch it, because presently we have been talking of how to get all notable Nigerians, Biafrans, to come on the radio to comment regarding the issue affecting we Biafrans and the Nigeria in general. And it is the same people who have been castigating, saying all kinds of negativity words, concerning the people that we are trying to bring in as a guest, that we have now been discussing with our enemies. We don't have enemies. Biafra means peace. Biafra means freedom. And we, under the leadership of Chief Dr. Ralph Owazurike, under the bim-massob family, we have demonstrated that time without number, that we are going to actualize Biafra with a violence. So if they should come to the and now
Jude, position yourself. Jude, position yourself. Hello, Jude. Position yourself well so that we can hear you. Okay.
So, like I am saying, like I am saying, we under the leadership of Chief.
All right, the network is too poor over there in Lagos where you are calling from, Mr. Jude. All right, I think we have got to the point. Okay, yes, go on. All right, Jude, I want to thank you so much for your contribution. Yes, I want to agree with Jude on what he said concerning the step. If they have taken this step for the very first time, not trying to. Jude, it's okay. Okay, thank you very much, Jude. Jude, it's okay. All right, so if they had taken this step right from the beginning, I don't think.
Clear that without.
Jude, can you hear me? Hello, Mr. Jude, can you hear me? Okay, thank you very much for your contribution. I don't know if Sonny Babo is there. Okay, Uche Diji, are you with us? Sonny Babo? Yes, it's still fluctuating, Jude. The network is still bad over there in Lagos.
Check, I think Umema Smith is connected Uche Diji as well. So keep on because I'm still out of the studio.
Okay, they have been disconnected.
No, remember since is there still. Remember since is connected as well as Uche Diji.
Okay, Ume Maslinos, I want to believe you are with us and you understand the topic right now. We have been discussing on the issue of the younger brother of Nnamdi Kanu, the step he took, trying to make peace with Ariwa and some group of the Oduduwa people in Lagos. What do you have to say over that? Ume Maslinos.
Thank you, my brother Uche Nokeke. I think if they have not realized their mistakes in the past, it's a welcome development. It's a pity for those who have lost their life following their aggressive way or deceptive way of doing enacting this Biafra restoration. Because
position yourself properly so that
hello?
From Ume Maslinos. All right, we are still saying this is Voice of Biafra International, broadcasting from Germany. We are telling the world that peace is the best way to make anything, to achieve anything you want to do in life. Hello? Is that Ume Maslinos still?
Yes, I'm still on.
Okay, continue. Sorry for interrupting.
Okay. So, if they have realized that non-violence is the best form to go about this struggle, it's okay. But I don't know if he could inform his members, the other family, before embarking on that mission or that journey. Because if he had informed them and they agreed together, I don't think they will still be making the kind of comments they are making up to this moment. Because some of them who have not realized that they have been going the wrong path, they are still making some comments as insulting and abusing Massob family and their leadership on the step we have been taking towards the actualization of sovereignty in Biafra. But in as much as he has gone to dialogue with those they have been calling their enemies, Biafra, why we, the freedom fighters, we know that we don't have any we will not have some that we agree on retorts over some dead. We can't call them enemies because it's all about interest. So if he has gone there to be for the interest of poor family or Biafrans, it's okay. Then on the issue of saying all manner of things concerning our guests on Sunday, if they have enemies in this struggle, we don't have enemies. If we must say that we have enemies, then the enemies, you don't call our enemies. Those who are working against what we are doing. And I don't think there are two groups that are working against what we are doing, other than the Icon family. So, if the bim-massob family must say, if we are asked to say compulsorily who our enemies are, who said those who are working against the Biafra struggle, they are our enemies. Not the North. Because from what we understood, they are not our enemy. They're only trying to make what we are agitating for to realize that the Massob family are doing with their leadership is only part that can lead us to the freedom we are asking for. So they all should come back and join us in doing that same part. Then,
All right, thank you so much, Ome Marcelinos. I want to appreciate you so much for that wonderful contribution. The truth remains that they are coming back to their senses because most of them were being misled, and that is why today I want to also believe that they had Ijel Bendigo very well. They had him clearly when he was at Onisha on the 13th of September last month, when he made a declaration, when he made announcements to the world that any group that wants to toe line of actualizing Biafra, you must follow the path of peace.
Now, please, moderator, I want to chip in something, Mr. Moderator. What I'm thinking also is that there was no way Emmanuel Kano would have done that without the consent of Kano, wherever he is hiding. Kano must have instructed him to go and do that. Take up that challenge.
Exactly.
This is my own contribution, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you very much. That is very, very good one. You are very, very correct because both Kano and his younger brother and every other misled IPOB members, RBL Limited, they must have had the declaration and the announcement of our leader on 13th of September at Onisha when he told the world that any group that is fighting for Biafra actualization must toe the path of peace. Yes, non-violence. And that is why today everybody is now trying to go and key into the line of the bim-massob ideology, which is non-violence, non-violence, non-exodus. And we must maintain this because we are the products of our leader, Ijele Ndibo. He has taught us on how to actualize our sovereignty without any gunshot, without any marketing, without any fighting. And we believe that we are going to achieve this, and we are achieving it already. And so, the world, we are telling everybody that non-violence is the key, and we must stand by that. Thank you so much, all the contributors.
Yeah, there's a caller. Please, before there's a caller coming in for you. Hello, caller online.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, we should take over. We respond to the caller.
Yes, please tell us your name
I will call you tomorrow.
He said what?
Okay, thank you very much. He was trying to commend your efforts. He said he's listened to the program and everything is verified, and people are really happy the way we are informing our people. That's what he said.
Thank you very much. I don't know. Did you get his name?
No, he didn't mention his name. He was so much in a hurry to leave the stage.
Thank you so much, the caller. Yes, we had you, and this is why we are here. We are here to inform our people, to debunk every wrong information. That is what we have been doing right from the time of immemorial, and we will continue to do that. Thank you very much. We hope you do call us once more whenever you are able to do that. Thank you so much. So I don't know.
Uchenna, please, I would like to emphasize a little concerning the information Ikenna just gave.
Okay.
You know, in regard of the Emmanuel Kanu who, came to a kind of a conference, and now started preaching peace. I think that information is correct. He never could have come out in such kind of conference and now be talking concerning peace if the information did not come from his elder brother Nnamdi Kanu. I think wherever he's hiding or wherever he's presently is, I think he have or he has believed that it is the best to follow the non-violence way, the non-violence tool, in order to push our own story of Biafra to the world. I think that is a very good, move.
Let's do.
Yes.
That's
Yeah, but but it's just that such a thing could have been done earlier, not when our people, or a lot of people, the bad seeds have been sold into them, and then to remove these things to make them come back to their normal self is costing us so much. But like we are the servants of Biafra, we will continue to inform them, even if they insult us, even if they cause us all kinds of things. We are non-violence. We are not going to, because two wrongs doesn't make right. But I'm happy that such a thing is coming out now, and a lot of people are beginning to see the truth, finding out that Biafra means peace. So whatever the bim-massob does in terms of bringing a case, in terms of going outside the states of Biafra, going outside the countries, bringing different guests to participate on our radio, to discuss the issue that is bothering us with Biafrans and the Nigerian as a whole. I think they should understand that Biafra means peace. Biafra stands for freedom. We are not going back. We are marching forward to Biafra. It is Biafra. It is Biafra. Nothing else.
Yes.
Yeah. So we under the leadership of Chief Dr. Ralph Wazirike, under the BIM family, represent one thing, Biafra, and then we are going to achieve Biafra out non-violence. I think the message is very, very clear. So whoever or any other group who would like to follow the same tool of non-violence, they are all welcome. I think that should be the message. It is not when our people have been, misinformed and every other thing, then we will not start trying to make correction. But this particular one is welcome already. But we should also learn. Then even the people that are being used should also listen and learn from this same thing. If the brother is no longer there, and now his other brother is now talking of one Nigeria, talking of peace, talking of that, I think they should also learn that you never achieve your aim with a kind of the method he told from the first. So that is my little things I just said I would like to chip in. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Jude Chijoke. Yes, we got the message very clearly. The truth remains that there is no how you can achieve sovereignty through violence. It's not done, and it is not in line with the United Nations order. And that is why today I want to believe that Chief Dr. Raf Wazirike is not out of place when he said that Nnamdi Kanu is being sponsored by some elements of people from the Nigerian government. And that is the reason why he is doing whatever he is doing. That is why he is blackmailing the struggle Massob, most especially the head of Massob, Chief Dr. Raf Wazirike. Because if not so, why would he be blackmailing? Or was it made, Chief Dr. Raf Wazirike made it open that anybody, if you think that he's not doing it right, you are free to go and form your own organization. But when this man came on board, after betraying the struggle, when he came on board, all he thinks that he can do is to destroy and to castigate the head of that movement. And today he has stated that in being used as a tool, he will never succeed. He has tried his best to see that he destabilized the organization, the struggle, that he destabilized the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra. Today, he is now indirectly using his younger brother to make peace. And whenever the prodigal son is being gone astray and come back to his senses, to come back home, the father is always there to stretch out his hand and to welcome him back. Bim-massob is out to welcome every prodigal son. We are not here to destroy anybody. We are not here to chase anybody away. But we are here to make correction. We are here to direct every wrong step. And that is what Bim-massob is all about. Biafra is for sure, and that is what we are fighting for. But not with gun and ammunitions, but with peace and bilateral understanding. And with this, we are going to achieve and we are going to get to the promised land. Biafra is our promised land. And that is why Voice of Biafra International is educating our people all over the world on the right path to toe, so that we will get it right. And the world will know that we are mature, that we are reasonable. The world will see us that yes, we are genuine in what we are seeking for. By the time we talk about war, they will be looking at us as if we don't know what we are doing. So, hello, Jude. It's like you want to say something.
Yes, I'm very happy. When the area you said, like the prodigal son, that they are, when the son decides to realize his mistake and decide to come back, that the father will also welcome him back. I'm very happy that you made, such statement, because a lot of, this our younger ones.
Sorry, please. Uchenna, Valentine Ogoji is online. Likewise, the members are still online, so they can still take over from there. Jude, if you wouldn't mind, you can grant Valentine Ogoji opportunity to discuss on this topic as well as the members' news. Now, Uchenna, please take over stage. Just inform me that they are online.
Uchenna, go.
All right. Okay, thank you very much. I don't know.
Valentine Ogoji is online.
Yes, I never noticed your presence. So please, what do you have to tell the world concerning the thank you.
Yeah, my brother, good evening, fellow Biafrans.
Good evening, you're welcome.
I like me a little on the topic on that because I just came up like
Okay. Okay, should I give you the comprehensive discussion what you have been talking about?
No, on this particular issue, he wants you to tell him this particular last topic we're talking about now, to brief him so for him to know where to start.
Okay, thank you very much. We have been talking about the meeting of Emmanuel to Nnamdi Kanu, who was in Lagos some days back. He attended a program which was organized by the Oduduwa Youth, Oduduwa Group, and the Arewa Group. They were there, and he was invited, and they had a meeting with him, and he was talking about restructuring Nigeria and the peace, unity of one Nigeria. And so, and this is what they have been castigating Chief Dr. Rafu Wazirike, the same thing he did when he traveled to all the way to Kaduna to make peace. And now, I want to hear from you what you have to say.
Thank you very much. Fellow Biafrans, I greet you all. Well, on this issue, we know initially.
Please raise your voice. Please raise your voice a bit for our broadcast to capture it.
Okay, fellow Biafrans, I greet you all.
You're welcome.
We all know that they are not really true freedom fighters. The idea is to destroy what foundation was really has laid. That is their mission. Because if you watch out, they have been working on this today, tomorrow they will say another. They will say something here. Now, if you look at his visit to Lagos last September, he was talking to one Nigeria. He was telling the people to vote wisely. Now, when you down, you find out that the kind of collaboration which all of family members did about it was not something that he would say on his own. It was an agreement, and he was sent to save the mind of the because what they are doing now, what we call insanity. Father is involved, mother is the brother is involved. Now, on their behalf, or if I may say, on behalf of the family. Now, when you look at it, like on Sunday, I was in Imo State, and a lady called me and said that now they are talking about what is our group is. I laughed. I told her, the way we are not talking about structure. We are talking of breaking. That is our stand. That is what we have been done. December 13, 19, today, we have not changed the topic. Topic remains mutation, breaking up. That has been our topic. That has been our case. And we have been focused on that. We have been working on it. It is a daily thing. It is not something you wake up and get. It is something you get. So doing it day until you get from the room. It is something you have to write because you have to submit the bill of it. You have to do nothing or you have to do many things to lobby the United Nations. You need a bilateral relationship with other countries that will help you to get the money. So it's not something you wake up and do something only protest or people have. No, it is something that connections with other nations. You have to read nations that have become independent to know how to get it. What nation is all about. So when you look at them, looking similar to the other posts, you don't know what they are doing. They don't really know what that fight is all about. They don't really know what the nation is all about. That is why I don't know what most of them do. Because when you fight out, we have the race and we have those that do not among the Muslims who stand as if they are. Now, if you look at what one went to do in Lagos, that will tell you that actually they are out of the track. They don't know what they are doing. Let's take for instance, when now they got to for this, if he is a freedom fighter, all he will do is to submit his like exactly what happened after the burial of his father. Went to the police, back to Abuja, immediately that he wants to come back to the I'm ready to understand that signal to rearrest. He went 3 times. This did not do it. Every time the signal did not sense for him. That is what I expected this young man to do. But instead, he ran away and they called men to come and die. This is sheer wickedness. Not the attitude of it. Let's take the house but this was there, several times. Each of the buildings granted because they are attacked with God. But on the 7th, he was with him and with all his men. That was when he left. And that was what made him 27 years in prison. Now, coming to that was written, you find out that the Lord, he has gone through a lot. There has been a lot of planning. House, when the house was not anything is happening. It is a gradual, it is a non-violent process. You don't want people you don't agree with. Don't fight people you don't want. You go through a step. You go through the stages of violence. You take the 5 stages, you go through the non-violent to the end of the God. Now, this Torah made us to understand that the stage is now is bilateral, international connection, and more and what have you. Building relations, building a kind of bridge that you go, you have people you trade with, through international business organizations. You become an island to interact with others. So I looking at them as children that get that because they know what we don't fight in scholar. Now, telling you to go to white people and this is one Nigeria. Contrary, the world we are look at what you tell the Masonite went to do in our house. It is not there to invest one Nigeria. Rather, he went there to make to secure the lives of other people that living in the north. That is why on the 1st of October, no life was lost. And Chifra was able to Kaduna pissed off. I tell you that one thing or the other would have come. But before he tracked Kaduna at our house, he didn't Igbo man to step his foot in that house and to speak to the Jonathan, and the rest of them. They now understood where we are coming from. They now promise that the life property people do not are paid the assumption. And that is why today we have peace in land. That is why today notice for any of our brothers or sisters on the 1st of October. That is why they took notice of the law. That is why today our people in the north are their properties are safe. Their business is the work of a freedom fighter. It's the work of a man that and said, I can give my life because of my people. That is freedom fighter. Not one who shall, when it happens, runs away. No. I want us to understand. Freedom fighting is not a child. It's commitment. It has to do with sacrifice. It's laying down your life for others. Fellow Biafrans, I want to thank you for giving me a listening. If I have another opportunity, I will speak more with you.
Okay, thank you very much, Uchenna. Let me take over from there. I really thank you for holding sway during my short absence. That is what makes Voice of Biafra International stand out among others. Anybody can take over the studio from any part of the world, insofar as a member of the crew. Last time it was Uche Deji who took over from Ghana. Today is Uche Nokeke who took over from Benue State. The next time, either Judy Chijoke will take over from Lagos or Bim-massob or Valentine Mogoji. Anybody can be called upon to take over the studio and moderate our talks. So, once again, I thank you for being with us. And I have to remind you that tomorrow, there is no broadcast tomorrow, Sunday. there is no broadcast tomorrow, but on Sunday, and that Sunday broadcast, we are starting from 7 o'clock, and at 8 o'clock, the interview will start. We are going to take 3 good hours for the interview. I mean, 2 hours to start from 7. At 8 o'clock, the interview will start to end at 10 o'clock. So, we are asking all our members, please, to log on at 7 o'clock to be sure that your communication or your connections are very much intact, that there will be no problem that very day. It's going to be a hot seat. Remember, I must be honest to you, my fellow gentlemen of the vobi crew. Since we made that announcement that we will be interviewing Hamza Mustafa Major, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Facebook friend requests have been coming in to vobi every hour. Every hour, hundreds of Facebook requests. They want to get involved, they want to hear him, they want to ask questions. I must be honest with you, it's going to be a hot seat on Sunday. Please be with us in time. Thank you very much once again for being with us right now. We thank you for informing our people, and indeed, they are grateful to all of you for keeping them abreast of the situation, telling them the truth and nothing but the truth. You could realize that everybody that called to say thank you was very happy that we are giving them the accurate information. They are happy that we are giving them the true position of things and not the lies that are being fed by the radio Biafra London. This is what makes us special. We thank you once again for being with us, and may God bless you for the rest of the night and beyond. Thank you so much, and good night. This is what makes